Look at these two cinematic AI videos. Which one feels more real to you? Shot A or shot B? Go back and look again and let me know in the comments which one you prefer. Personally, I like shot B, and many other people that I've asked have agreed with me. But why? If we pause the two scenes, you can clearly see that shot B is a much lower quality AI generation. The answer is camera movement. Today I'm going to break down why your AI videos feel fake, no matter how perfect they look. Then I'm going to show you some really simple prompt and editing techniques that can take AI slop and make it look incredible. First, we have to understand the problem. AI has opened up so many doors to creativity that, to paraphrase Jurassic Park, we've been too excited to see if we can, to ask ourselves if we should. This is a huge part of why AI video feels fake. When was the last time that you saw a crazy CGI transition in a Hollywood movie? I'll wait. Let me know in the comments. Many Hollywood movies use a ton of CGI these days, but they're still predominantly shot with real cameras. Even Avatar used physical cameras that cost tens of thousands of dollars, even though the finished movie was practically entirely computer generated. Why? Because the director, James Cameron, wanted it to feel real. One of the most important elements to the art of cinematography is camera movement. If you want something to feel exciting and grounded, use a handheld camera. If you want to emphasize stillness and the environment, then lock it off on a tripod. Stabilized tracking shots are the way to go if you want to focus on dialogue or the character that you're filming. Camera movement is an incredibly powerful way to express yourself as a director, but almost all of it disappears with AI. See, AI is great at generating visuals, but controlling the camera, that's another story. In order to bring back camera control to the creative process, I spent days and thousands of credits searching for a solution. Here's what I found. AI models still seem to be very limited in their understanding of camera control prompt instruction. This isn't so much an issue if you're going for a locked off frame, it does those well, but if you want pans or push-ins or handheld shots, the prompting process can be really difficult. And this is a problem because I want to create a World War I inspired sequence using 4 shots, all of which need to be handheld and have controlled movement. As with all cinematic sequences, it's best to start by using image gen for your storyboard. I'm gonna use a combination of different tools to do this, but for AI, we're working with Higgsfield, and you can feel free to copy my prompts and try this out yourself. First, let's use Nano Banana Pro with a reference headshot of myself to generate an image of me in the World War I trenches. I always start with 2K resolution images because this is much faster than using 4K and it costs a lot less credits, and I run at least 2 generations per image and then pick my favorite. Both of these actually look pretty good, but I think I prefer this one on the left. Now that we've got this, I'll reference it and generate a new image and give Nano Banana this prompt. Generate a new image of the soldier in @image1, running through the trenches in World War I at full speed. Apply subtle motion blur to his arms and legs to sell realism. Explosions and dust fly in the background. Smoke fills the air. Mud splashes as the soldier's boots hit the ground. Shot type full 50mm lens f1.8. Cinematic soft lighting, subtle film grain. Let's give it a shot. The first shot on the left looks okay, but it's a little unnatural. I prefer the one on the right. Now I'll generate another image of the soldier running toward the bunker, and then one of him inside with the general. Now comes the last image. I want a close-up of the soldier handing a letter to the general, but I'm kind of drawing a blank on what instructions I would give to prompt that. So instead of prompting, let's just use the multi-shot tool on Higgsfield and see if it'll come up with a good angle. You can see we've got a ton of options, but this one right over here actually could work really well. Okay, we've got all of the images. Now, how can we animate these to feel real? I know that I want to use handheld camera motion to make the scene feel intense and grounded. So to start off, I asked ChatGPT to give me a handheld camera control prompt template that I can put at the end of each generation. This is what it gave me. Go ahead and screenshot it if you're trying to do this yourself. Starting at the beginning of the sequence, I tried animating my first shot with practically every major AI model. While a couple of them look okay, none of them really understood how I wanted the camera to move, until I switched to an older model, Kling 2.1 Master. Kling 2.1 Master actually understood the camera controls, but the problem is that the soldier now looks way worse than the Kling 2.8 generation. I ended up finding a way around this that gave me the best of both worlds though, and I'll show you that technique in a minute. The second shot I also tried with a bunch of different models, but this time the camera direction I wanted was a push in, and practically all of them got it right. So it seems like the AI can understand a push in prompt a lot better than handheld camera movement. Next up, there's the interior bunker shot, and for this one I actually turned to Higgsfield Cinema Studio tool because I wanted to try something out. I put in my prompt and then I selected the tilt up motion from their settings. I did this to see if I could combine the camera motion setting on Higgsfield with my handheld motion prompt, which would ideally give us a tilt up movement with some handheld camera motion. But unfortunately, after a number of tries, I realized this really wasn't gonna happen. I even tried tweaking the prompt in and out, and really none of the generations turned out well, and I decided we're just gonna have to adjust this shot in post-production. Finally, on the last video prompt, I tried combining the camera movement settings and the handheld prompt again, and this time it actually really worked. It nailed it first try. So remember, just because it doesn't work with one shot doesn't mean that it's not gonna work with any of your others. So now we have our 4 shots, but integrating handheld camera movement inside the generation only worked on 1 out of 4 of them. To fix this and edit together our scene, I'm gonna open up my favorite editing software, DaVinci Resolve. Right now, if we edit the raw clips together, it looks okay, but it's still pretty disjointed, and I want more energy. I want the scene to feel more intense. Thankfully, there's a super simple way to polish up these videos and give them that energy. One of the first things you might notice with AI is that it'll just randomly generate videos in slow motion. It did this with our opening shot as well as the one where the general stands up from the table. So the first thing we have to do before anything else is to speed up these videos and make them real time. I'll select the clip on the timeline, then right click and go to clip speed. Then I'll take the frames per second from 24 up to 60. Now, if we play this one back, we should have a properly timed shot. Here's the before, and here's the after. Quick note, setting the speed to 60 from 24 isn't always going to get you the perfectly timed shot. Some AI generations are faster and some are slower. So if 60 frames per second looks weird, just adjust it until it looks natural to you. For example, this shot of the general standing up, I actually had to increase the speed to 120 frames per second instead of 60. The speed of our videos looks good now, but they're still too smooth. So for this clip and all of the other ones that don't have any handheld camera motion, I'm gonna open up DaVinci's effects menu. Click Resolve Effects, then scroll down to Camera Shake. I'll drag this onto our clip and then adjust these settings on the right until it looks the way that I want. You can make the shake as exaggerated or random as you want to match the scene, and then finally add some motion blur, which will really sell the effect. Now I'm gonna repeat these steps to add that handheld movement to all of the shots that need it, and then edit the scenes together with simple cuts, just like a movie, nothing fancy. After a few more magic touches, the scene is complete.
A letter from command, sir.
That felt so much more real than most AI videos, and it comes down to the intentionality behind our camera movement. That said, there are some other really important techniques that I used in the final edit to really sell it, and if you want to learn those, I've got a whole tutorial on how to do that with AI video editing that you can watch right up over here.